So in this video, I want to really dive into simple breakdowns for sliding and recovering for a defense on the lacrosse field. So I'm going to pull up here my whiteboard, and this is how I like to coach whenever I have athletes on call for sessions. All right, so from this position, and again, I know there's only three, and there's obviously going to be three other athletes on the field or six other athletes between offense and defense. But I like to break it down this way. So let's say the ball's here, and this guy's dodging, and he dodges down the alley, and he beats his man. The first slide's going to be coming from the inside. Now, the thing is that when this guy slides, there's nobody to cover here. So that's why on the backside, if you are on the defense and you are far and away, you're the two. So right now, as this guy goes, this backside guy that's far and away needs to slough in as the two. From this position, all right, this guy with the ball has a choice. If he has somebody open, great. If not, he could skip the ball back or roll back and throw back to this man over here, or his check down is going to be the guy at X. All right, so that's one way that this goes. All right, so let's say we're here, we get a slide, dodge, slide. This guy sloughs in as the two. This guy that just got slid to now needs to fill the hole. All right, so he gets slid to. He needs to get in order to bump this guy out. So four-man rotation. Now let's say we add another guy. All right, so we'll put this guy back in here. 1, 2. All right, so now we got 5. This guy up top dodges. Boom. Draws a slide. He draws the slide. Guy that's far and away needs to slough in. My coach at Syracuse, Dave Petramala, used to broke it down so simple. He just said, you need to cover the most dangerous personnel and you need to leave the least dangerous open. So in this situation, as this guy's coming down, the least dangerous man is going to be this far and away guy. So draws the slide, sloughs in as the two. What do we feel like this guy back here needs to do in this situation? Well, he needs to essentially play two on the backside. If this ball gets skipped over here, he may need to come up. Could you bump up from this guy? Yeah, but it might be quicker for this man to rotate over and then for this one to bump over here as this guy's recovering back. So that's why it's important that this guy's sloughing in as the two, and this backside guy is essentially splitting two with his hands in the passing lane. Guy goes, recovers, bounces out. Back to being even. Let's say the ball now was moved. So slide happens, ball gets moved back over here, and this guy attacks the opposite direction. In this sense, for an offense, what would make sense is for this guy to rebalance out to keep shape, this guy to essentially rotate or fade, and this guy to either fade up or clear through. Let's say this guy clears through. A clear through for a defense means that you can go hot off the clear through. So if the clear through guy goes, now that makes this cloud hot. If that guy's hot, who right now is the far and away guy? That would be this star on the backside. So if this guy goes, this guy's got to slough in as the two. If this guy sloughs in as the two, this guy's got to split two on the backside. Slide happens, recovers, bounce, and bounce. It's really important that we film study, especially on the defensive end, because if you're not film studying, then you can't anticipate plays that are happening. And yes, defense is structured, but it's also chaotic. So understanding defensive principles, I think, are really important for an athlete to be able to maximize the way that they play defense. It's team defense concept. So obviously we're training on the field to develop as one-on-one defenders because the better our one-on-one game is for defense as a whole, the less we have to slide and recover. But then understanding team defense concepts alongside with elite one-on-one defense is how you transition your game from here to here. And overall, that allows your team defense to excel. And something for me is that I've been part of defensive personnel that was extremely elite with really strong individuals that could cover where we did less sliding and rotating. My first 2 years at LIU, our defense wasn't as strong, and we literally prided ourselves on the ability to slide, recover, and play team defense because we had a lot of short stick defensive midfielders, including myself, that were learning defense. So we were more of offensive guys that were playing on the defensive side of the ball, and we needed to rely on our ability to slide and recover, which is great, but it also put our defense under duress. So as the years went on, the better we developed as one-on-one defenders, we became a better defense because we were really good at sliding and recovering, but then we also had the good one-on-one play to go alongside with it. If you're a defender and you're a little bit lost on the field, or you feel like you need to work more on your understanding of team defense concepts, or maybe you're playing one-on-one defense and you're having a hard time covering and being able to like be that lockdown defender that you're trying to strive to become, shoot me a message. Let's start watching film. Let's start diving into the X's and O's and let's get you training like an animal.